Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is for the Minister of Energy. In August 2017, the Environmental Review Tribunal ruled against a proposal to build 8 500-foot tall wind turbines in my riding due to significant public safety concerns and their close proximity to the Collingwood Airport and Clearview Aerodrome. Citizen groups and organizations worked hard to stop this project and have since made an attempt to have their legal costs awarded or repaid by the tribunal. This government has cost hardworking citizens in my riding over $850,000 and local municipalities an additional $800,000. So, Mr. Speaker, the Green Energy Act won't allow these groups and individuals to get their money back. Will the minister change this legislation to allow the tribunal to award costs?
Hear, hear.
Thank you. Minister of Energy.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. When it comes to community engagement into the renewable procurement process, we did listen to many of the community groups in the past, and Mr. Speaker, we did try to strike the right balance between early community engagement and achieving value for ratepayers by putting an emphasis on cost. And I can appreciate where my friend, the opposition friend, is coming from. This process, Mr. Speaker, is administered by the IESO and is overseen by an external fairness advisor. And so even when a contract is offered, the process is not over, and I believe that's part of the question that my honourable colleague has mentioned. So, Mr. Speaker, project developers through this process must obtain all required licenses and approvals, such as the Renewable Energy Approval or the REA, or an environmental assessment before they can start construction on those projects, Mr. Speaker, and I look forward to speaking more in the supplementary.
Supplementary.
Well, Mr. Speaker, back to the minister. Minister, your government caused my constituents and my municipalities to spend over $1.6 million. Nobody ever thought any government would be stupid enough to approve 12, I guess, in the beginning, 500-foot windmills between 2 airports. But since you made that decision, and your ministry made that decision, your government made that decision, it caused my constituents and my municipalities to spend this money at the tribunal. They won at the tribunal. Thank God, finally, common sense came to light. These citizens did you a favour. Pilots were going to get killed. It was never a question of if someone was going to get killed. It was always a question of when someone was going to get killed. They did you a favour by forcing the tribunal to do the right thing. You owe them $1.6 million. Will you do the right thing and pay them back?
Thank you. Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, when looking at the process that we put in place, it is to strike that right balance between making sure that communities have a process in place to ensure that they can actually express their views and actually put projects in the right light, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that if there are concerns, that they can bring those concerns forward. As I said before, we really worked hard, Mr. Speaker, with the IESO to strike that right balance between early community engagement and achieving value for ratepayers, Mr. Speaker, by putting an emphasis on cost. And I know the IESO and the external fairness advisor, Mr. Speaker, are in place to ensure that that happens. And I know working with the IESO, the province will continue, Mr. Speaker, to ensure that all renewable energy procurement encourages the selection of projects with local support and the most competitive prices, as well as with projects with First Nations and the Métis participation.
Thank you.